Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign has unveiled a new policy position to tackle inflation. It's more Bernie than it is Biden. Price controls. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, you may remember this from your history textbook. Price controls were used by the Soviet Union, which led to drastic shortages of food and basic goods. Sounds like a good idea. And the consequences of Kamala's price control proposal aren't just hypothetical or contained to Cold War history. Now, the U.S. tried this to control the high prices of gas, and inflation at the time was through the roof. This was in the 1970s. And the results were just like those in the Soviet Union: shortages, rationing, mile-long gas lines, and a dangerous reliance on OPEC. Former President Trump slammed Harris's new economic agenda, calling it socialist.
She's running on the Maduro plan. We call it the Maduro plan, like something straight out of Venezuela or the Soviet Union. This announcement is an admission that her economic policies have totally failed and caused really a catastrophe for our country, and beyond that, a catastrophe in the world.
Now, it's important to revisit the lessons of the past, 1970s, the price controls. PBS, this is a walk down memory lane. Watch what happened then.
As has become common in many states in the East, cars have been lining up before dawn. By the time the pumps opened, many had been waiting 2 and 3 hours for gas.
I've been here since 4:30 this morning. It's ridiculous waiting online here. I couldn't get gas Tuesday. The block was the line was about 8 blocks long. It was ridiculous. It was unbelievable waiting online. I can't take it anymore.
Sounds promising, Sean.
Yeah, really promising. So the record on price controls is 100%. You try it anywhere in the world, and you get the gas lines, you get the empty shelves, you get the rationing. What's troubling is you look at Kamala Harris and you'd say, well, it's your bad policies, it's your bad economy, your spending, your borrowing, your rules and controls that have brought high prices. And so instead of dealing with the root causes, which she's supposed to be pretty good at, she's dealing with the effects. And the effect would be better handled if you deal with, again, let's stop spending so much money. Let's actually free the economy and let people drill for oil. You know, she's concerned about how much money people are spending in the grocery stores. Stop attacking farmers. Let them grow their food. Enough with the rules and the regulations. Let them grow stuff, and prices will come down. Just one last quick point. I'm surprised that she doesn't have an advisor in this White House that says, hey, listen, I know this might feel like a good idea, and people might think it's a good idea, but this is a really bad policy. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Her policy advisors are exactly where she is, which is frightening.
It is. You know, Emily, the Washington Post had a piece out that kind of laid out the consequences of this, and they put it in very stark terms about what this would mean for federal government control. They said it's hard to exaggerate how bad the policy is. It is in all but name a sweeping set of government-enforced price controls across every industry, not only food. Supply and demand would no longer determine prices or profit levels. This is the sentence. Far off Washington bureaucrats would. The FTC would be able to tell, say, a Kroger in Ohio the acceptable price it can charge for milk.
There is never any problem or any issue that the government is the correct answer to solve, to step in and help, right? We know that. And I know you work closely with ranchers, Tommy, so you have such a direct insight into this more than I. But I will say that the most frightening thing is the government coming in and regulating, controlling inflation and the like, thinking that they have a solution to the problem, and having that person offer the solution really be inexperienced in all aspects. There is zero credibility there. There's zero specificity there that that she has, that we can trust her. And to your point about the policy advisors, isn't that the American people? Isn't that the heads of these unions, the heads of these groups, the ranchers that come out and say, this would destroy us? And for anyone that has still no idea about it, I mean, remember COVID. The supply chains were absolutely rocked, and yet it fell on deaf ears in the administration, who said, no, let's still continue to ban gas. We saw what the effects are of a minimal shutter in the supply chain industry. This would be catastrophic.
You know, Tommy, and I think Trump calling it the Maduro economic plan is really strong. I mean, I think Latinos across the country, people who have studied what is happening in Venezuela, will really resonate with that.
Exactly. And there are a lot of new Republican voters as well that have fled nations like that, nations like Cuba, and they never want to go back there. And this should be a giant red flag to these people. But to go back to what you said about the ranchers and to your point about the farmers, That's who I'm really concerned about here as well, because it's only a short leap from price fixing to the government now telling ranchers and farmers how much they're going to charge, how much they're going to grow, how many head of livestock they're going to have, until the government comes in and really controls every aspect of our food supply. And if we don't have a stable and secure food supply, we don't have anything in this country. And then there's only a short leap till, well, the ranchers and farmers can't do it, so we need to manufacture more of this lab-grown meat, the more fake alternatives, which Kamala Harris in the past has also talked about. She's talked about having hamburgers and how we need to reduce climate change, and maybe we need to move away from red meat. All these things seem like we're really exaggerating, we're being really fearful, but these are just incremental changes that lead us to this goal, which is socialism and communism. We thought Kamala was running away from her radical policies. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's doubling down on them, and that's what we're going to hear more about today.
Yeah, we'll hear this. We'll also hear 3 million new housing units, reportedly a $6,000 child tax credit. That one stood out to me because this is what J.D. Vance said on Sunday. Listen.
I'd love to see a child tax credit that's $5,000 per child. President Trump has been on the record for a long time supporting a bigger child tax credit. And I think he wanted to apply to all American families.
So J.D. Vance says 5,000 tax credit. Kamala says, OK, let's do 6,000. I mean,
and let's reduce taxes on tips and everything. So
Right.
we'll see where this continues to go.
Yes.
Maybe the next step will be to look at border policy. I don't know. But when we're looking at this in particular issue, the food prices issue, I see not just the fingerprints of Bernie Sanders, but also Elizabeth Warren. She has been writing about this and advocating since May on this issue, sending a letter to the president signed by some of the Democrats, Bernie Sanders also signing that letter. But she pointed in an article from New Data for Progress polling showing that a majority of voters support increasing lawsuits against food producers, creating a new task force to investigate grocery stores and corporate food producers, and regulating slotting fees. So there's a liberal progressive philosophy behind all of this. They claim they have the numbers to back this up, and it runs pretty deep. So there's an entire force behind some of the ideas that we're likely to hear in the coming days and weeks.
You know, when you're in California driving down I-5, you see empty fields, Central California, which is an agricultural heart, and you see empty fields upon empty fields, and there are signs up that say, thanks to Congress. It is the government that is the source of all of the negativity that we receive, whether it's on the table or in our pocketbooks.
But it's water there, right? And that's the federal government and the state government of California that shut off the water to those farmers. That is the breadbasket of America.
That's right.
I'm sensing a trend. Let's put Ilhan Omar in charge of foreign policy. Let's get Bernie on the economy. I'm sure it'll all work out just fine.
Wake me up when it's over.
Scary. Yeah, exactly.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.